Welcome. We are Team 1 from Shadow Ridge High School competing in the architecture track. My name is Matthew Dunson. I'm the lead drafter and estimator, and I'm followed by Robert Riley, our project manager, and Angelo Perez, our structural drafter. We are all fourth-year students in our signature architecture program. The ambition for True Homes has been to prosper the home buying industry towards the consumer, allowing for a company of such value and initiative to offer commendable opportunities to find the perfect home. North Creek Village, a community with multitudes of possibilities for first-time and progressive home buyers. The possibilities are endless. Our team has developed this project to further sustain the qualitative and persistent practices of True Homes. In awe of a variety of options available, our proposal was closely relative to a popular floor plan, the Montecrest, featuring a split-open concept design with additional upgrades to complete this two-bedroom, two-bath home. Going inside the home, the extended foyer broadens the space as you have adjacent rooms next one to each other. The 9-foot standard ceilings throughout, or as shown with the tray and coffered ceilings, allow for seamless transitions between each living space. Smaller details, which can be selected through True Homes to match our renderings shown here, is what sets apart buyers from one another.
This home presents a, This home features a unique staggered castle forefront to accent the enlarged family room. As preliminary designers, we also included two optionary kitchen designs in both 30 and 36-inch echelon cabinet selections to correspond with the given specification sheets. The outside of the home features a contemporary Cape Cod elevation to provide instant curb appeal. With the use of Conquest vinyl siding and Tamco Heritage shingles, our team strategically chose this color scheme to match various homes in North Creek Village. And then, here's a perspective of the arbor that shows the amount of detail True Homes puts into their, the just look of the house.
As much as we take concern for the intentions of True Homes, our technical standards surpass the values of meeting guidelines and restrictions faced in the development process. A multitude of specification sheets were provided with our project portfolio to meet both the North Creek Village Community and Element specification sheets, as well as the 2015 South Carolina Residential Codebook. We have implemented a system where all notations and specifications are categorized, making it easier for the builder to coordinate different tasks and requirements, as well as reference new material at ease. Construction document sheet numbers are identified with a tri-section definition, split between discipline designator, sheet type, and sequence number, following the United States National CAD standards. Continuing these common building practices ensures a structured format that is both adaptable and fluent in the construction industry.
So the building process starts with a monolithic foundation, which moves away from the traditional building practices that our team is used to. So that provided a bit of a challenge for our team, but it was one that we were able to understand and execute properly and successfully. And I'd be pleased to allow Angelo to talk more about the structural details and elements for this project.
So using a monolithic foundation from a construction standpoint, this provides a great benefit for being able to pour the slab into one direct foundation, which reduces the overall time of construction. But with the use of stick frame construction on site, it increases the amount of time of the construction. So we provided detailed wall framing details with accurate dimensioning and labeling to provide for easy assembly on site by workers.
We also ensured that we were using South Carolina's local codes and building standards towards the scheduling. And as we move into the timeline, which is from March 1st to July 14th. As you can see in tab 4 of the binders as well, is our schedule. So our schedule, as As it's broken down into sessions is what we call it. So at the very first section, you can see that it has permits and requisitions on it. And under that session, you can see tasks laid out afterwards. Stuff, things like requiring the permits for the lots and the site before you actually even get on site. And then the next one after that is site preparation and excavation, which will include tasks like soil testing and drawing out the excavation lines, as well as actually digging out those excavation tunnels. And a few main variables that affected the length of our timeline, like Angela was saying earlier, is a stick frame construction where they have all the materials one place and they have to ship them out to site, which are then built there on site and then brought up. But we did eliminate part of that problem by having the wall framing details that allow for ease on actually constructing them and bringing them up on site. Another main variable is the weather conditions in South Carolina, namely the hurricane season from June to November, which will affect the last 2 months of our construction, being June and July. So to combat that, we have allowed for ample time for each of the trades during that session and other sessions, just in case for any other unforeseen circumstances that may occur.
The initial cost to build the home, including lot prices, permit fees, and additional charges, totals out to $210,607.20. When reiterating financial costs and profit margins throughout the company, we came out to a total sales price of $269,900. This sets True Homes at a company profit of around $56,000. While looking at the sale price of the home, we wanted to ensure that the home would sell quickly but in reasonable terms. Due to True Homes' ending of their first phase of construction with only a few lots being available, we wanted to ensure to get this home sold as quickly as possible. And as seen in these images of our estimation, we were given a template to use as reference. However, we added additional subtotals within each subcategory to make sure each line of trade was to be referenced with ease so that you can manage different portions of work.
And as our presentation comes down to a conclusion, we would just like to take a minute to thank both SoftPlan for allowing us to use their CAD software and the renderings that you guys saw earlier, as well as the National Association of Home Builders for allowing us to give this presentation. And we would like to thank all of you for being here to judge us, our performance, and our binders themselves. And if you guys have any questions, we'd like to answer them at this time.
All right. Very good job. Very good job. I'm honestly amazed at how much you were able to put together with just 3 of you. You put in a lot of hard work, and I commend you for that. So well done. When you were putting together your plan, why did you decide to use a 2x6 exterior wall versus a 2x4?
Thank you for asking that question. When we were looking at the given problem for our floor plan, the dimensionings wouldn't add up properly when we were using 2x4 exterior walls. However, the community element specifications required R13, which is meant for a 2x4 exterior wall. So if we were to continue with the 2x6 exterior wall for our project proposal, we would recommend having an R value of 19 so that it avoids the 2 to 3 inch gap within the wall.
Okay. So you addressed my conflicting answers that I saw. You specified a 2x6 exterior wall with an R13, and your estimate reflected the same thing, which is good because you were consistent there. You can't have an R13, well, I guess you could, but your insulation is just going to sag and fall down, but it's not going to be compact in there. So if you're going to have a 2x6 wall, put R19 in there and defend that. According to the specifications, we displayed a 2x4 wall, so we have unnecessary cost built into this plan just by having 2x6.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Hey, great job on the plans. I love it. One thing to keep in mind, though, is the end user. So I've got to go, this is probably, 40 pages thick, this plan. I've got to go almost 2/3 of the way through to get to the floor plan. It's tough, right? It's hard to read. The other thing is you copied a lot of details in. a lot of details, a lot of stock details, a lot of details that you've used previously or somebody's used previously that don't always tie to the set. Be careful on over detailing or throwing in details that are not specific to this plan set. My assumption is that we're building this as a lot specific level, and you should be driving to lot specific details. Don't kill me with general details. Provide what we need for this house. There's some things in here that just, like there's a detail for a block wall, right? There's just some random details that kind of made it through. Other things that were kind of a little bit overkill were 1 or 2 foot wide deep footers or 2 foot wide footers. 12 inches is really all you need for this soil type. So we should be okay there. You also put in a curbing around all of the landscape beds, or at least the majority of the landscape bed in the front, a 4-inch concrete curb. It's not necessary either. It's just going to drive up additional cost. So just be careful on some of these things that the decisions you make to add into the plans. But overall, it was a great set, well thought out. The looks beautiful. This is really nice. Good job.
Yeah, I would just like to address the first part that you were
Yeah.
bringing up about how you had to go 40 pages or so before you even got to the main floor plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were thinking about that as well, and we were thinking about the different trades that would be coming through for all of that, and we kind of discovered that it depends solely on the person and trade looking at the plans to find what they need at that given time. So we weren't entirely sure about what should be put where in that session. Well, we knew it a little bit, but we didn't know what should come first. Like the floor plan is one that we wanted to put first generally, but then also we needed the detailed sheets and the specifications for trades that need that stuff before they even see the floor plan.
Right. That totally makes sense. But who's the first person that looks at your plans outside of your office?
The site person at the
The
general
plans reviewer at
contractor.
Berkeley County.
Okay.
Okay? The plans officials, the plans reviewers are great people, but they can have bad days, and you'll find out very quickly when they do. Okay? So make it easy on them, because they're the first people that run through your plans. Make it easy on them, put the codes on the front, make sure you're driving quickly so they can review, get it on and off their plate as fast as possible, and then make any adjustments you need for trades after that. Trades are smart. They're gonna get their packs, they're gonna understand what to do. But plans officials really, on big sets like this, they can get frustrated easy. So just keep them in mind as you go forward.
Okay, thank you.
Good job, guys. Yeah, to his point, like I said, the plan reviewer has to review everything. Certain trades can peel out pages, and so. What was the overall sales price of the home?
Oh, the sale is $269,900.
Okay,
And we've factored that due to the local comps of the area, so the other homes sold by True Homes within this similar square footage. And I think that's the very last page within your binders. It shows the 3 homes that we matched the comps to. So that's kind of where we got our price at.
okay, so that's the comps, but do I have an actual sales price in here? Because I didn't see it. I saw the estimate with the breakdown and everything, so just make sure that you include a summary sheet or some kind of breakdown sheet with everything listed as far as profit, overhead, margin, and everything there, so, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Scheduler, who's my scheduler?
That'd be me.
I had to bust out my magnifying glass on this one, so just make sure that you're reviewing it and it's easy to read, especially on half size, because it probably looked great on.
Yeah, we wanted to keep it at its full length there. I know it's really hard to see, but if we determined if we started breaking it up into the specific sections at the top, that it would get really confusing really quickly the further we move down the line for it.
Okay,
It was
so-
either that or have it like 40 pages long, and I don't think anyone really wants to schedule that deep in that kind of a binder.
Okay, so the visual, doesn't mean anything to me.
Right.
So this part, I mean, I might glance through it, but the meat and potatoes is right here, so make sure that's the part that.
Right. We also included a electronic copy of
Okay.
the plan in a flash drive that was sent with all of that. And so on that, you can actually see
Okay,
everything
I
that's
don't
on
know if
there.
we got that. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
understand that, so.
I don't know then.
So just be careful. And I noticed a couple of Saturday, Sunday days in there. Was that your intent to have?
Yeah, we had some extra day, like I believe they're marked with X's on the scheduling. Those are optional days
Okay,
that can be in there. And also I think the very last day is a Sunday, and those are optional client walkthroughs mostly for those optional days that are marked with the X's.
So just be careful with that,
Right.
because usually unless they're a makeup day, nobody's gonna work a Saturday or Sunday, or if they do, they're gonna charge you for it, and you'd have to account for it in the estimate.
Okay.
And then your homeowner walkthrough days, I like my Saturday, Sundays too, so I
Yeah.
don't do walkthroughs on Saturday, Sunday, so just
Right.
kind of keep those couple things in mind.
We'll keep that in mind.
Good job,
Thank you.
guys.
I'm just going to add a note. I couldn't even pull out because my eyesight's getting worse and worse and worse. I couldn't read the schedule at all. And there's ways of being kind of creative about that. And that is, you can go ahead and put two 11 by 17s next to each other at the net 1/2 size bigger, and then tape them and fold them over. So there's ways of doing it. It's just, I couldn't even read it. Yeah, I don't know how you even began to saw it, which is a real shame because I really wanted to see how it all came together.
Yeah, I'll let Matthew explain that concern, why we did it that way.
So we were actually considering doing a split design with having half of it on there. However, our software, which we were using Google Sheets, we were trying to format it to the best of our ability. So we kind of ran out of time on getting that formatted. However, we would have been taking that into consideration if we were able to get that successfully
By the way,
formatted.
I appreciate you sent the flash drive, except I didn't see it or anything, so maybe a big note at the beginning of the thing, hey, look at our flash drive if you need to see the schedule would have helped a lot, because I was really, the rest of the set, by the way, is absolutely phenomenal. I agree that you had so much stuff in there that actually some of the checks on some of the things going back and forth, it was that, it could be overwhelming to make sure that you catch everything, like not having CMU and masonry, in there. The level of attention and the details and just the basic information is phenomenal. You have the electrical plans, the plumbing plans, and a lot of other things. You're one of the few schools, by the way, including associates, that have smoke detectors relatively in the right location. I think you're missing one out of the master bedroom. I didn't see the carbon monoxide, for instance. But I mean, the reality is that this level of detail is absolute, and effort is phenomenal. And I just wanted to thank you so much for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Sometimes too many details, it gets overbearing for my subcontractors, especially when they don't pertain to the project. There's 2 SIP panels at your detail S501, detail on page S501, detail 3 and detail 4. Those are SIPs. It's a SIP roof connection. We don't have this in this job. And then I saw some of the ridge connection or ridge board system. And then I saw the one with the concrete block. So those, just get rid of them, because your poor contractor or the framer is going to go outside looking for SIP panels. And you can't find them. He's going to call you up on the phone and go, I got a detail here, where is it? And it's it's not worth my time. So be very careful on it. But you did put some phenomenal details in there. You've got the one underneath the garage door where the little recess areas. You did the details where you got your uplift wall cleats in there. Great work on finding that and putting that detail in there. For the estimate, who did the estimate? Was that
I did the
Matt?
estimate, yes.
Okay. On your estimate, be very careful when you label stuff like 4x8 wall sheathing. These walls are 9 foot tall. They do make OSB products at 4x9 and 4x10. So utilize that. Otherwise, what's going to happen when you stack that unit, you got to put solid blocking in and nailing every 3 inches. That's a lot of labor. So it's quicker to use it looking at a different product. The same thing with the drywall. Your drywall system, you labeled it all out as 4x8 sheets of sheetrock for walls and ceiling. In the industry, we used 4x10 on some areas, but on my jobs, it's all 4x12 for both the lid and the walls. So be very careful when you choose that. I did calculate it out, and yeah, your sheet count is right. It's just that be very careful what the industry itself uses. So that's basically all I have.
Thank you.
Good job.
Great job.
Oh, I just want to make one other comment before we're done. Also, please you're using a beautiful font that really is distinctive, but because of the half size, many of these notes are really, really hard to read, and your fonts. By the way, your specification sheets, most people just like copy, paste. You actually went through and edited that stuff. And
Those
wrote
are
that.
actually all hand typed.
Yeah,
So
how long did that take? I mean, we're talking pages and pages and pages, all right? And I'm talking about content, true content. And I was like, oh, this is going to be all kind of redundant, but it wasn't. So just please be wary of it. And my favorite is your summary sheet at the very end. It's kind of like, da-da, here's the winner. And you put comps in here, which is amazing. And then this way you could compare your price to it. You have the profit in here. This last page is absolutely beautiful as far as sales and marketing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.